Every time there's a serial killer in fiction, they must wield a weapon that's just as intimidating as the wielder itself. Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Masochist, and Michael Myers, the Midwest Boogeyman. I'm one fish mob, and it's my job to see who would win in a fight. Leatherface, amongst one of the most recognizable slashers in horror history, and is considered to be the grandfather of all slasher movie serial killers. But before he was the serial killer we know today, he was simply known as Thomas. Thomas was born at the Blair Meat Company, a slaughterhouse where his mother worked, and had the unfortunate luck of his mother dying after giving birth to him. Her boss, not caring about the infant, left Thomas to die in a dumpster. He was eventually taken in by the Sawyer family, also called the Hewitt family in some films, and is raised like one of their own. Ironically, the family themselves also worked at the Blair Meat Company, where he was born at. And as a result, Thomas worked there as an employee. But after losing their jobs, Leatherface and his family switched to kidnapping people, murdering them, and butchering their flesh. As a film slasher, Leatherface has great stamina and durability. He has been hit with a wrench in the head, both sliced and injured by a chainsaw, and was able to keep on fighting like nothing happened to him, and has been hit in the head and knocked out multiple times with no ill effects. But even though he doesn't have that many physical abilities, he doesn't really need them, because his main murder weapon usually gets the job done perfectly on its own. His chainsaw. This sword with a moving blade, even though it's not supernatural, is far more powerful and effective than a normal chainsaw. It can cleanly cut through wood, fabric, flesh, bone, and even car doors with relative ease, and can function perfectly even after being completely submerged underwater. But his chainsaw has had trouble getting started and could quickly run out of gas. What he lacks in physical abilities, he definitely makes up for in feats and strengths. He has killed a total of 22 innocent victims, has fought and defeated Jason Voorhees, out of pure luck of course, survived being stabbed in the gut with a chainsaw, and survived being blown up by a grenade point blank. But for every strength he has a weakness. He is simple-minded and is completely under the control of his family. He can easily be killed and have parts of his body cut off. And he is intellectually disabled, is inflicted with skin cancer, and can get very upset, even by the littlest of things. But either way, Leatherface is considered one of the deadliest slasher villains out there. This one doesn't even need any introduction. He is the character that popularized and defined slasher films to come in the following years after his big screen debut. But in case if you've never heard of him before, his name is Michael Myers. As a 6-year-old child, Michael took his first victim, his older sister Judith Myers. After this action, he was subsequently admitted into a psychiatric hospital for nearly 15 years. Eventually, Myers broke out of his captivity and for the next 23 years, hunted down and killed the rest of his family. Eventually, at some point, he was even cursed by the Cult of Thorns to become an embodiment of pure evil. As a slasher villain, he has several abilities to use. He has enormous strengths. He is strong enough to pick up entire human beings, is strong enough to shove blunt objects clean through people, can crush people's skulls with his bare hands, and lift a tombstone out of the ground. He is virtually immortal thanks to his ability of regeneration. But he doesn't just rely on his strength and immortality. He is an expert at stealth, and an expert mass murderer, and has some degree of precognition. But unlike some other slasher villains, Michael Myers actually uses his intelligence. He knows just how to get you, and he takes his time to do it. He prefers stalking his victims much like a predator and has utilized disguises in the past. But he doesn't just kill his victims with his bare hands. He has his own murder weapon, the butcher knife. This knife is his weapon of choice, and throughout the years he has become very good with it. And he usually uses it by pinning his victims to a wall with it, then killing them. Michael Myers is definitely one of the most dangerous slasher villains of all time. He will use anything and everything nearby him as a weapon, escaped a mental hospital at a young age, and has survived being shot several times, falling out of a window, being stabbed multiple times, having a car crash into him, being caught in an explosion, being hung, and electrocuted. But he is not perfect. He is incredibly slow, and if he dies, he will take a whole year to come back to life. But still, Michael is one of the deadliest villains in fiction for a reason.
Fight!
So why did Michael Myers win? Well, Leatherface certainly had a more devastating weapon and has defeated Jason Voorhees. But in the end, Michael Myers held the advantage in almost every other regard. His knife was a far more practical weapon than Leatherface's chainsaw. He was far stronger, was able to take any and all punishment given to him by Leatherface, is practically immortal, far more intelligent, has survived worse situations, and unlike Leatherface, Michael did all of his murders on his own. So in short, Michael was just smarter, stronger, more durable, more experienced, and had a better weapon than Leatherface. The winner is Michael Myers.